Now, the Kia Soul has a distinctive style it can call its very own. What often goes missed is the fact that it is an electric-only model. Now, when compared to the EV6, it is a little yestertech, but if you pick the right model, it works very nicely. The Soul EV starts with an expressive cabin and the higher driving position so many prefer. It also counts all the mod cons. The instrumentation is clean and lays out how the electronics are working in an uncluttered fashion. It also rates the driver's performance through a readout that shows the percentage of the drive that was done economically, normally, and when the right foot was being flexed too aggressively. During the test, it became a challenge to keep the aggressive number below 5%. To the right, the 10.25-inch multimedia touchscreen supports all the desirable apps, including Apple CarPlay, built-in navigation, and a solid Harman Kardon sound system. What's missing is a decent driving range graphic. This one is Mickey Mouse and a very poor relation to the setup you'll find in the EV6. Thankfully, the range displayed in the instrumentation is accurate. The overseeing brain takes into account the drive mode, the amount of energy being consumed by the climate control system, and any other significant draws to arrive at an accurate number, one that the driver can actually rely on. The rear seat riders have not been forgotten. The outboard seats are heated and there's plenty of head and legroom. Behind that, the cargo space measures 633 litres with the seats up and 1735 litres when folded flat. The squared off design means the space is usable and the same as the gasoline-powered models. Now, one of the range extending features you'll find in the Soul Limited is a heat pump. Now, it is 300% more efficient than the regular electric heater. Now, you've got to realize you need the electric heater or the heat pump because electric cars don't produce enough heat to keep the riders warm. The advantage is very simple. The heat pump uses 1.75 kilowatts of power to warm the riders. That electric heater, well, it uses 5.5 kilowatts. On a long Canadian winter, that is a lot of power. Where the Soul EV Premium arrives with a small 39.2 kilowatt-hour battery, the smart money will take the Limited and its more realistic 64 kilowatt-hour unit. In this case, well, it takes 64 minutes to charge using a 50 kilowatt DC fast charger and a little over 9 hours using a level 2 unit. Now, neither is a very quick time by today's standards. On the plus side, during the test, the Limited's bigger battery showed a fully charged driving range of 380 kilometers, which matches the official 383 kilometer number. The Limited has a front-mounted electric motor that develops 201 horsepower and, more importantly, 291 pound-feet of torque. The plus is the performance feel outstrips the stopwatch. The 7.9 second run to 100k seems like a long time. The sense is the response is quicker across the board, which makes the Soul EV a fun drive that likes to whiz around town, and it does so very nicely. Hard acceleration actually makes the front tyres chirp. Where the electric Soul misses the bus is when it comes to the regen braking. There are 4 modes plus an auto setting. Not one of them is a one-pedal drive. In fact, if you pick the top level 3, which is the most aggressive, as soon as the Soul hits 10 kilometers an hour, the regen stops and the car feels like it's starting to accelerate. This thing would benefit greatly from iPedal. There are Eco, Normal and Sport driving modes. In a shocker, Eco is the best everyday mode as it maxes out the driving range without feeling too soft. If you want more, Normal does bring a sharper work ethic without killing the range potential. Sport mode, well, it is a hoot. However, when used with enthusiasm, the range tends to drop off really quickly, so be warned. There is a 4th ultra-conservative Eco Plus mode. Let's just say, forget it. The Soul EV is balanced from a ride and handling perspective. The drive is compliant even when the road deteriorates, yet it doesn't allow the body to roll when pushing through a corner. Likewise, the steering is nicely weighted and delivers decent feel and feedback. What cannot be masked is the weight. At 1754 kilograms, the Soul EV is not exactly a lightweight proposition. In fairness, the weight at play really only enters the fray when liberties are taken. This is where understeer surfaces rather quickly. Now the Kia Soul is a love it or hate it proposition, but if you get it, you do love it. Now in the case of the EV, it's got a very nice cabin, you still get that nice tall seating position, and the electric side. Now that is where things matter. If you go with the regular model, forget it. Go with the Limited and you get a bigger battery and a longer range. That is worth the premium. I'm Graham Fletcher for Driving.ca.